My name is Duncan Kathungo. From Afredac team, I have Athumani, I have Virginia, and I also have Mary J. We are also honored to have one of our facilitators, actually two, Ashna Upal from Oxford University, and also we have our facilitator of the day is Chioma Ude. So I'll just do a brief housekeeping before I hand it over to Chioma. Let me share my screen. So I'll just give a brief overview of what you're doing today, or what you're starting today. So this is a continuation of a training we had last year. So that training we had last year was Introduction to R for R researchers. So we actually thought that it will be a good idea to also extend and introduce more concepts that can be useful to health researchers and practitioners. That's why we thought of starting now with this course, which is Intermediate R course, part 1. It will be part 1 because there are more elements to be covered in Intermediate R. So we'll be doing this as a process. So expect another part 2 in the future once we're done with this part. And we hope that maybe part 2 will just finalize all the concepts that we intended to cover for the intermediate part. So if you go to the Afredac platform, when you'll be registering for the course, you'll find that all the details are there. We intend to have this at least up to October 13th. You'll see the team of facilitators will be taking care of this, and most importantly is the program which is there. So you have noticed that today we'll start the session 1, which will be facilitated by Chioma. It will just be a refresher on the R workflow and structure. But then come next week, we will meet, but now we'll meet for what we call R for Fun Club session. Now this is where we just talk about R. If there's anyone that has a problem with troubleshooting, we can actually bring our minds together and try to assist a person. And it doesn't mean that you have to wait until we meet next week. You can also be logging into our Fun Club session and post your questions there. If there's any concern, if there's a member of the club, will try to address that question. If not, we'll meet next week and we do the troubleshooting together. So you will see all the sessions that we intend to cover in that program. And we hope we have all of you until the end. So I can see a few familiar names, maybe those ones who are in the last training, but we welcome all of you to this training. So that was just a bit of how we will be doing this. And once we are done with the sessions, all the materials will be available on the e-learning platform, and you can access them at any time. We'll also have quizzes there. You can do them at your free time. And the good thing is that towards the end, you can actually get a certificate once you have done all the quizzes and passed. So in the interest of time, I would like again to welcome you all. We are glad to have you here. And I will hand it over to our facilitator of the day. That is Chioma Ude. Chioma Ude is a FAMSA member, and she's also a medical student and an R enthusiast. And we're really glad and honored to have her today as our facilitator. Welcome all, and Chioma, take it away. Over to you.
Okay, thank you, Duncan. Good evening, everyone. I'm so excited to be here and to take this block of lecture. So this is the first session we'll be having in this training, and it's going to be like a recap of the basics of R down to how to import, clean, and so on. So I will be sharing my screen so we can also see what I have prepared. So without further ado, just get straight into what we have for today. So like I said, we will be covering, we will just be doing a recap uh, of R, basically what R is all about, workflow, essentials, and all that. So hopefully by the end of today's presentation, we'll be able to understand RStudio, to recall basic R syntax, to learn the R data analysis workflow, to also learn how to install and load packages, and to clean data. So in cleaning data, we also have to learn to remember how to import different types of data. So let's get straight into it. So R is a programming language for data science. It's a very it's a free and open source language actually. So it's very useful in research. So you can use it to compile multiple streams of data into plots and into graphs. It has over 9,000 free packages that makes working with data stress-free. So there are a lot of things that R can be used to do. And it also has a community where you can go to find help. Communities like the larger POSIT that is created by the R team themselves and our own community here, the R for Fun Club. So RStudio is now an integrated development environment used to execute R. So basically, it's where you use R to code. You use it to clean data, use it to analyze data, use it to do basic operations in data and so on. And RStudio is where you can go. RStudio is basically where you can use R. You also have some other development environments, but RStudio is the commonest of them. And so this is what it looks like. RStudio looks something like this. So in RStudio, there are 4 panes. There's the console pane, there's the script area, the console, the environment, and the help pane. So each of these panes have their own function that we'll be seeing in due time. So what we've said so far is that R is a programming language used for data science and statistics. It is a free and open source language, and it has a lot of tools that makes working with data simple and efficient. So now, for someone who hasn't used R before, or someone who does not have RStudio, I've attached to my slide a rundown of how to go about it. So I already have R installed, so I won't be able to reinstall it. However, if you want to install R, you have to install both the language and the development environment to use the two of them together. So to install R, this is the website you go to, cran.rproject.org, and it kind of shows you, this is what it looks like. It shows you download R for Linux, download R for Mac OS, or download R for Windows. So depending on the operating system that you're using, you can click on any of them and it would take you to the next step where you download the installer and run it on your laptop. Then to install RStudio, this is the website that you use, posit.co/download/RStudio -desktop. So you use this to download the RStudio. There's a free version and there's a paid version, but the free version and the paid version don't have much difference. So you can choose the free version. So this is also what it looks like when you want to go and download it on the POSIT's website. This is what you see. So you click on download RStudio desktop for Windows. And they update the version in time after time. So maybe the version I have now may not even be the newest version, but they always update the versions. So if you download now, you would most likely be downloading the newer version. So, like I said, the RStudio interface overview has 4 panes, like I showed in the beginning. There are 4 panes. There is the scripts pane or the scripts area. This is where we type our code. So maybe say this, and then we run. So now the scripts area is where we type our code. So I've imputed something on this, and when I press Control Enter, it runs the code down here in the console area. So when you type in the script area and run it, then it runs, you see the output of what you've typed or what you've imputed in your console area. There's also the environment pane, and the environment pane is a pane that you see all your values, your data sets, your objects, your values. Like as I've run this code on my script area and my console, it's logged into my environment pane. So if I want to see the value, I can just click on it, although I can't click on it because it's just a value. But you can run, like it just stores these values or these objects or the data sets in the environment pane. And then you now have this pane. This pane is more like a miscellaneous pane where you have everything from your plots. Your plots can be visualized here. Maybe you create a bar plot with your data. You can view the plots that you've created in this pane. You can also view packages as well. All the packages that R has can be seen here in this pane. Maybe taking a while to open up, but all the packages that are available on R and RStudio can be viewed here in this pane. So yes, so you see there's like a long, endless list of packages that you can choose from. So all of them can be viewed on this. You can also ask for help here. So it's more like a miscellaneous pane. You see anything that you're looking for, anything else that you need to get from RStudio can be found in this pane. So like I said, to run code on your RStudio, you press Control Enter so that you can get your output on the console pane. Okay, so yes, then the environment pane where you track all your values and your data sets, and your help pane, like I said, where you find your packages, your plots, the help section, and so on. So before I continue, is there any question, anything, or do I continue?
I think Choma, you can continue. In case of any question, they can just post them in the chat. We'll answer them once you're done.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So, continuing with the basic syntax, like I said, we're just here to recall. So there are elements of our syntax that we should know about. Examples of them are, I've already used one of them, the assignment operator, which is the less than and hyphen. Use it to basically assign a value to a variable. So let me say this, and you press Control Enter, it prints on your console area. So it's an assignment operator. So if I now want to do some form of basic operation, for instance, I can use what I've created so far, maybe say A plus B, and Control Enter, and it gives me the answer as 11. So this is an assignment operator. Then you can also have equal to as well, but I think this is the one that is most commonly used. We have we also have functions, yes, like sum, mean, the sum function maximum functions. I think you also have the minimum and maximum functions as well. And you have operators. So these operators is, if I'm to use it in, you can say A, maybe calling another vector, C is equal to 5. I can say that A is equal to C. Okay, no, I won't really work. Well, that's what it's usually used for. So you want to say this is equal to this. You use this operator. And then we also use the pipe operator as well. It means it's kind of like, and so maybe you want to create a line. I will use this further as we go on. Maybe when it's time to clean data, you can say, and then, so something of that sort. So that's what the pipe operator is used for. It's kind of like a break elements of sorts for your code, but I usually call it and then. Then comments. So if you want to create something that R will not read or print out, you can use, like, I think I've created a comment already. So basic operations. So R will not run this as a code. So you use the hash operator to run this so that R does not like consider that as part of the code as well. So onto object structures and indexing. Now, like I said, like I've been doing so far, there are different types of objects that you can have. Okay, let me see if there are any questions. Okay, no question. So, there are different types of objects, classes. There's the vector. So this is a vector. This C equal to 5. It's a vector. So it's used to hold data of the same type. So let me see, for instance, you can say like I've already given, let me create another one. X is equal to 7 and Y is to 8. So these are vectors. They are used to hold data of the same type. So this is an integer, but I'll still get into that. Then you can have something like this too can also be there. So these are all vectors, X, Y, and Z can be considered as vectors. Then you have another one you have is a matrix. So the difference between a vector and a matrix is that a matrix is two-dimensional. So let me give an instance with what we've already created so far. So this is, I can form a matrix by saying cbind. Cbind is used to kind of create and put them into a data set. So say cbind I don't know, let me first of all declare this, because if I don't run it, R will not realize that they are values. So yeah. So now to create a matrix with these, you kind of use cbind to put them all together in a set. So let me see. X, Y, Z. So now if you come to the console area, you see that they're kind of now like in the same, yeah, it's no longer, it's now in a list form of sorts. So it's no longer like a value form, it's more like in a list form. So then you also have other types like your data frame, which is used to hold more than one data type. So a matrix is kind of like a vector because it holds data of the same type. But a data frame is used to hold more than one type, more than one type of data. So let me also show that. So you can say, let me say df x, y, z. So this will be the name of my data frame. You can now say x,
Chioma,
y. Yeah.
could you kindly increase the size of your RStudio?
Oh, so sorry. Let me
It's
do
okay.
that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so is this better?
Yes, that's better. Thank you.
Okay, so now I'm trying to create a data frame, and this is, so you use the data.frame to create a data frame on R. And so now if you look at my environment thing, you will see that I have a new input under the heading data. And if I open up this, you kind of see, so a data frame is holding both numeric data types and character data types. So that's why it's quite different from the from the matrix. Then you also have, going back to the slide, you have, yes, you have lists. So a list can contain a data frame, can contain a matrix all in one. So it's kind of more complex. So a vector is like a singular structure. Then a matrix is kind of a more complex form of a vector. Then you now have a data frame that is much more complex. Then a list kind of holds them all together. And if we want to, if you want to access items or columns within a data frame, we can do what we call indexing. So if I want to maybe access this from, maybe access, my name is Choma from my data frame, I can say df x, y, z, and do you can use either the $sign or you can use the square brackets. So it just depends on what you want to do. I would use the $sign and then say X and then run it. So if you check the console, you see that it prints out that particular variable that according to what I have in my, if you check the table, you see it has printed out X. So you use, if you want to access something within a data set, a particular value, a particular yes, a particular value within a data set, you do indexing, and indexing is done with the $sign or the square brackets. I think, let me show how the square brackets work as well. So we can X, Y, D, do maybe say Y. Okay. Yeah. Usually I'm not really, I prefer using the $sign because I understand what that one is all about. But it's basically just selects if you know how to use the square brackets, it's kind of selects out. It does the same thing that this $sign does. It brings out that particular value from the data set and prints it out for you in the console. So then now talking about object classes. In the other, just now we were talking about object structures, which are structures that you use that contain these classes. So now we have object classes. There are different types of object classes. You have the character, which is like if you remember me showing, this is a character class. If I want to find out, if I want R to tell me, oh, I want to like be sure that, okay, this is truly um of of that particular class, I use a function. I could use a function known as class, and then put z inside. If you check the console, you see that it has printed out character. Now, what you can use to know a character class is that it's usually enclosed with quotation marks. So any text, words or text that are enclosed within quotation marks are called of the character class, and they are called a string in R. Then you have the numeric classes, which are the integers. So if you remember, we have some integers here. You could still make sure that they are integers. So let me run my class. So you see, numeric of the class numeric. So you were correct. It could either be whole numbers or integers. So it could either be 7, 8, 3.5, 3.14, whatever, as far as it can be used in arithmetic operations. It is of the numeric class. Then you have the factor class. Now, the major difference, so factor of text that are not enclosed in quotation marks are of the factor class. And the difference between this and this is that factor classes is usually used for distinct variables like gender, age, unlike this that could just be, oh, character, my name is Choma, stuff like that. This is more categorized and it's more distinct. It tells you, okay, this is what gender is. Gender could be male or female. So it's not like, okay, any character. It's more streamlined towards a particular variable. Then you now have the date class, of which usually dates are written in, let me just maybe use another one. They're usually written in quotation marks. So say 2025, 0809, for instance. Now, if I run this and I ask, and I ask R to tell me what class this particular one is under, it will tell me that it's a character, but I want it to be a date. So how do I do that? I can simply say W as dates. Now it kind of changes. So, oh, let's be able to just. That's new. And that's supposed to be able to convert this to become a date, basically. If I ask, oh, makes the function this time. Okay, I think I should ask for help with this now. I don't know. Duncan, this has worked before on my own end, so I'm a bit, I don't know. Duncan, are you there? Just to
Yes,
get
Chima.
me
This,
up.
uh, I
That's
think
something I'm missing.
the issue may be the formatting of the date, and
Okay.
there is a solution that Ashna has shared in the chat.
So, but if I didn't pay by
Yeah.
Jesus, this passport is going to take. I'm going to take this passport.
Uh,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. It's just an issue of the data format. But otherwise, what you're doing is actually correct. It's just that the format of the date is different.
So month before day then.
Year, month, and date. But inside that as date function, you also include that specific format.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just put an extra set of brackets around the quotation. So where it says format.
Yeah.
Mm.
Thank you.
I
So
sometimes the add that date gets a little bit confused as to which number
yeah.
is month and year and everything. So we often
Okay.
have to tell it manually.
Because I know that tried it once. So I think it should.
Perfect.
Hopefully it should work now. Do I change the dates altogether?
Maybe. That's strange. This one worked on my R over here.
It's also working on my end. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Let me change.
I'm actually thinking maybe it's the way the time format has been set in Chioma's machine. That's why it's giving
Oh,
us
maybe.
Yeah,
an error.
it could be that too. But I think it's working now.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay,
Okay,
okay.
nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
wonderful.
Okay, thank you. So after a little bit of technological issues, yeah, I think it's due to how my data and time are set on my own laptop from my own end. But this is basically how to change a particular function to another. So let me try using y, which is an integer, and change it to a character, see what happens. Oh. So now if I ask R what's what class of Y it is, it's just going to tell me it's a character. So it changes. So that's how you can if you check my environment pane, it now has the quotation marks attached to it. So I can't do any arithmetic functions with Y now. So if I say, oh, Y plus X and try to run it like non-numeric arguments because I've converted Y from an integer to a character. So this is basically how you change your object classes from one to another. So moving on. Before I continue, does anyone have any questions?
It's Chioma. I can make also a comment in
Okay.
in your console, if you scroll up a bit, where you actually did the cbind.
Yeah.
Mm. Cbind.
I think that.
No,
Sorry.
in the console, there was an, yeah,
Yeah.
there. So you can see that in Chioma's variables, x was 7, which is a number, and y is also a number. But when Chioma did cbind, 7 and 8 now became characters. This is basically because cbind or vectors and matrices R actually prefers them to be of the same data type. And when you actually try to do the cbind between maybe numbers and string, what R does, it just converts them to a type that is convenient. So and in this case, it just converted all of them to be string characters.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Thank you so much for.
yeah, that's the comment. Thank you, Gemma. Proceed.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, so moving on. So now, so far so good. We've understood object structures, object classes, and basic R syntax. So going on to another very important part of R, which are the packages. So like I said, R has a lot of packages that help with data analysis, and they are basically software that you can download and install on your R in order to carry out certain functions, because um at at just downloading Rstudio, it's just going to come with basic R that you can do, like the class function, and some other very minor functions that are not so sophisticated. But when you now want to carry out a particular function, like say in cleaning data, you can't just use any functions. There are specific functions that can help you to achieve what you're looking for. And that's where packages come in. So packages are basically there to help you carry out certain types of functions on data. So there are various ways to install packages. You could use the code install packages and then put the package name in to install it once. But if you want to, sorry about that. If you want to install multiple packages, a safer option is actually Pacman. Although Pacman on its own is not basic, it's not a base package in R. It's something that you also have to install as well. So if you do not have Pacman yet, we just want to install maybe one package, you can now say, you can use the code install packages, install.packages. And then you can put the package name within. So let me just put a random one. Although it's going to start installing packages a package that I may not necessarily need. So, but this is what it's supposed to look like. Then you can now you can now impute the package name that you want to install. However, Pacman is usually more sophisticated because you use it to download multiple, like I said, install and download multiple packages. And if you do not have the package already, Pacman will just install it. So instead of you having to like press install packages and then check to see if you have the package, it just installs it immediately. So for instance, if you want to know, okay, do I have a particular package? Okay, you use this function library, then put in the package name. So let me say tidyverse. So now tidyverse is active here. So I have tidyverse downloaded already. That's why it doesn't start the whole process. So, but Pacman has started the whole process. So Pacman has it's also sophisticated on its own. It's part of it's one of the packages you should download you have to install. So it's not a base package. So I wanted to maybe load multiple files. I just load, then start mentioning the packages that I want to download. I already have most, no, not most, some of the important ones. So I won't really be downloading anyone. So yeah, like I said, if you want to know if you have a particular package, you use library and then you put in the package name to kind of confirm. And there are a lot of packages in R, a lot, countless. But the most important ones, or the ones that are popular, are packages like tidyverse. Tidyverse is used in data cleaning. We'll get to see more of its function in due time. We have ggplots, which is a package that is used to create plots. So if you want to draw a bar plot, a histograph, you usually use ggplot too. Then pacman like that is used to install and load the packages, sorry, not data. Then you have read Excel. So read Excel is a package that you use to import Excel files. We'll get to see that one as well. Then you have DPLYR, which is a tool used for data manipulation. And you have janitor, you have schema, I think you have stringer as well. So, but the list is endless. There are a lot of them that you use for one thing or the other in R. So yeah, that's for kind of like a small recap on what R is all about. I think I should maybe stop here to know if anyone has any questions or anything of the sort.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Chioma. Do you have any questions for Chioma?
Yeah.
Uh,
I
I, I can see there's a comment from our other facilitator, Ludovic. Ludovic, do you mind explaining to us?
Okay. So, hello guys. So, what I was actually trying to explain in that comment was uh, for some of the people, this may be the first time that they are accessing and trying to using R. So, the first line, the one with if require pacman install the package. So that is a line that you can use in case you don't have pacman. So you can just write that code, and that if you don't have the package in your Rstudio, that package will be downloaded and loaded. And then in the second line, you can just write that code and list all the packages that you want, and then they'll be downloaded and be loaded. So there won't be any need to write uh, the code that Chioma was telling us, library, tidyverse, but you can just, okay, okay, so it will just keep the library line, and you'll go direct to the line number 31, pacman, payload, and then just list all the packages that you don't have. So you can just use that anytime if you don't have the packages that you're looking for.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ludovic. We learn new stuff every day. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Ludovic, as well. Any other? I'm looking at the chat. Precious is asking for the recording. I think Mary J will communicate to you on that. Otherwise, I can say that Pacman is a really powerful method or item as to how we can actually load our packages. Maybe let me see whether there is any other comment from our other facilitator. Ashna, you have anything? add?
I just to say we love Pacman. Honestly, it saves a lot of time rather than installing and loading. So I think Chioma's done a good job advocating for the use of Pacman.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Ashna. So, Chioma, thank you so much for that wonderful review of R. Because now, sorry. Thank you so much for that review, Chioma. At least it has given us an idea of what was covered previously. And I think from my end, the most important thing is, first of all, get to know the data types and the structures that we'll be dealing with. And as Chioma mentioned, the difference between the data frames, matrices, and vectors is how they handle different data types. So that was a very important point. And also as to how we actually handle date. Date is actually a very crucial aspect when it comes to handling data sets, and in particular for health researchers and health workers, because you cannot treat date the way we treat an integer. And as Yoma showed us how we can actually convert a given string that's supposed to represent a date, so that R can actually understand that this is actually a date. And in the coming classes or sessions, we'll also look at why it is important to have this date recognized by our R, that this one is a date, because it's through that we can access that year. It's through that we can access the month, the date, the week of the year, and etc. So yeah, thank you, Chioma, for that overview. So the materials that Chioma has covered today, they will be available on the e-learning platform. In case you have any question, please feel free to engage with us on the R for Fun Club part. And next week we'll still meet same time, so that we can be able to review if there's any question that you have, if there's any part of R that you think can be covered again. We can meet next week and discuss about that. Otherwise, thank you, Chioma. That was wonderful. And Ashna,
Yeah, no, just wanted to reiterate the thanks to Chioma, and we do encourage anyone who's perhaps new to R for Fun Club or new to this group. As Duncan and Chioma have both said, the sort of introductory course is online, so feel free to access any of those materials to help you out. But as you know, even if you are new, if there's no such thing as a dumb question, that any question is very, very valid, and we want to make this as easy for you as possible. So feel free to reach out to us as you continue learning. Thank you.
yeah, thanks so much, Ashna. Maybe now I hand it over to Athumani and Mary J for final remarks, and also Chioma. Chioma, maybe you start, then Athumani and Mary J will follow. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you everyone for being here. If there's any questions, like Ashna said, there's no such thing as a dumb question. We are all still learning, so every question that is asked could be a way to learn just even more. So, but thank you everyone for being here. I hope to see us all in the next session.
Yeah, thank you, Chioma.
Hello. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, our facilitators, Chioma, Duncan, Ashna, and Ludovic. So we are encouraging all of you to use Allah for Fun Club group to continue with this. If you have any question, if you you can post there and then you can get some answers. But also, we are expecting to have all the materials like the notes, video, and the quiz on our e-learning. So stay tuned, and we'll post all the information about the materials and the quiz on the Allah for Fun Club. So if you haven't joined, please join there. So and if you have any question or anything you want to share, please share within the Allah for Fun group. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Azumani. I can see Nakato Shadia had raised her hand. Please go ahead. Nakato?
Yes, sorry, I just wanted to ask when the next class will be.
Okay, let me share my screen just briefly for those. So if you go to the course part that is on the Afredac platform, there's this schedule, there's this program. So like week 1, that is today, session 1, that is today, we're just supposed to cover a refresher on our workflow and structure. So next week, we'll meet same time, but this will be basically just trying to actually answer any questions regarding R. You can ask anything. We can work through the problems together. We can try to troubleshoot if you have any issue. But the next session will be on this, our session number 2 for this course will be on 21st August. And that will be data cleaning with dplyr. And our facilitator for that day will be Ludovic. Otherwise, all the information is there, and we look forward to seeing you next week for R for Fun Club and the other week for data cleaning with the dplyr. Thank you all for attending, and we wish you a good day and a good evening.